Welcome, everyone, to a new draft tournament that Murder Mastodon, Ebony Scarface, Jay, and Affin Show have put together for you. We're going to be doing the draft portion of that tournament today. To explain a little bit of what's going on, we've got all of the people who have elected to enter the tournament are going to be drafted for one team or another team between two team captains, just like dodgeball back in middle school. And then after that, they'll be playing against each other each week, earning points to an eventual tournament conclusion, which we'll talk more about later. What's going on right now is we're going to have a 1v1 between Ska Boss, who is one of our captains, and Murder Mastodon, who is also the other captain as well as the tournament organizer. And it will determine who gets to choose whether they have first pick or second pick. So the winner of this will get the choice of first or second pick at the end of this 1v1. We're also going to be talking about their picks here as a bit of a podcast as we go through, so we'll be discussing it. I've got several guests here with me to do that today. I've got Gaignun, who keeps changing his name.
Snow Clan.
I also have a real Snow Clan member, Snow Schmidt.
Howdy.
And we have Evolution.
Hello.
And we'll also have Jay joining us at his leisure when he decides to show up because he's late. Late. All right. So they should be starting here shortly, and we'll, I guess we'll just jeer them on a bit. Definitely not cheer. I don't think so. Going to jeer them on.
Are you ready for some shoutcasting, Bregan? Can we shoutcast this match?
You can shout.
Oh, okay. You said go ahead.
I have a baby.
My baby's not asleep yet. I don't
Oh, so that
got it
means you
in
can
me
shout.
today.
Are you in communication with... Yep, they just started. Yeah, you are.
All right,
We
we're
see
watching
Key
from
Faith.
Murder's perspective. His video quality is just about as good as he is. Potato.
Oh my gosh. It's
Wow.
terrible. It's so bad. This is a Key Faith deck. Lots of Willow the Wisps we see. He is overwriting because he got 2 Reams, 2 Willows, 3 Aura, and that is not how you 7-mana combo someone.
Honestly, amateur work out of him. It's disappointing.
Key main on Ska Boss. Maybe they're gonna kick each other in the face until like this is over.
Yeah, I've
Well,
noticed that
was easy.
when people have to play a 1v1 for some reason, and they don't have like 1v1 arsenals made for a tournament, there's a very heavy tendency to fall back on Key Faith, and they're probably both running like the same thing.
Tiger Strength Rian.
Yeah.
You guys are actually glad that by a vote that was Murder betrayed me. Me, because I was literally gonna play Phantom Dust.
Wow, see, it's the best skill in the game. Title skill.
That was 100% my plan.
That was like the only way to get hit by that Will-O-the-Wisp.
Wow.
It was. Oh my god, the stream. Is it just me?
No.
Nope. I locked up too.
We now see that Murder is going into the 7th dimension.
What happened to Murder? I didn't even see.
How did he take one?
How did Ska Boss go to 19?
Is that like a Dampier Fang or something?
Life-giving
Well, Willow
sword?
does 3, so I don't think so.
Life-giving sword
Did
off
Murder
the edge, I
take
think.
fall damage? Because Life Giving Sword does too. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be fall damage too, if that's what happened.
There was a glitch in the Matrix, and some lost health, some gained.
Oh my gosh. You know, we talked about having lag tests on some members. Did we decide Murder has to do a lag test?
I don't believe so.
I think we can etch that in stone though for future reference.
About to silent rule this boy every match. What is going on?
I missed the silent rule. I don't think they used it in this last one, did they? Or was it
It happened once.
the one in the
It
previous?
was. Xanxus and Zexus had to on Highway.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was the tourney before that they used a different rule set.
I do love every time someone gets 4-0'd or 5-0'd. Some of my favorite things in Phantom Dust.
Oh, yeah, I did that too. But I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it was because of something else. It wasn't the silent rule.
No, I remember the something else, and we won't talk about it.
Call that one the big dick rule.
So we're
True,
playing a lot of
we're
cat
being-
and mouse right now.
Yep.
This is riveting Phantom Dust. Oh, he blocked. He's got Iron Skin, guys. He's got Iron Skin.
So it would appear that
Oh, yeah, that's a big
Scott
hit.
Boss's 4-second delay means that the room is likely to.
Oy.
No, that was a good block, though.
I don't know if the room. I mean, with the way this stream quality is, there's no way to say if this room is laggy or not. There's...
It's true.
I can say this. I played with Scott Boss last night, and it was very, very. There was a lot of latency with everything, tags, shields, everything.
Boy, I had to play my most recent showcase match versus Anant and Darcia on 300 ping. That was like the lag bros.
Be thankful it wasn't a not an O tomato.
Gosh. Does Murder
That
have
international
a
ping
target
though,
strength?
man, it works in their favor. It really does.
Dragon Slayer is a real skill that does something.
Oh,
Can
wow.
you do some hitting him?
Yeah, after he hits a Dragon Slayer, he might be able to connect 3 damage, make up for that deficit there.
Okay, he's got a crawlers on lane.
Yeah.
Against a jumper, no less.
Crawlers are great on a few maps. I'm a big fan, unlike City, because it does things it's not supposed to. But this is not a map I'd use it on.
Well, to be
Seems
fair,
like Murder's trying to draw
Scabboss
him out
did
in the
find the
open.
one way to get hit by that Willow earlier. Crawlers can
I
still
was
be effective
impressed.
here.
Oh, and he got him.
Getting thwacked. Oh, he's gonna take like 6 or 9 by the time he gets back to his base. If he goes.
I'm not sure how jumping straight in the air enabled him to dodge that re-end, but I'm just gonna roll with that.
Yeah,
I don't know how that would hit him around a corner at a 90.
Man, if we could just learn to dodge like that, we'd be unstoppable.
Whoa. My screen went green then purple.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
like-
that's an interesting one.
You know,
All the
while
way
we're going
across.
on about this, since this is super riveting, I guess let's do the topic that I did talk about earlier. Based on the entrance, who would your first 2 picks be? Let's talk about it. Start with Snow Schmidt. If you were captain, who would your top 2 picks be?
Oh, jeez.
Well, you know what? Let's make it a little more interesting. Considering that somebody else, like the opposing captain, is probably going to take one, who would be your first round and second round picks?
Who do you take? Who do you take if they're gone? Yeah.
I think the first pick. Oh, jeez, this is gonna be rough. If I had first choice, it would probably be you, Bregan.
Maybe with a Mur, possibly.
If I was shunted to second place,
Thank you, hon.
I'd grab PD more than likely.
Okay. Nice.
Well, oh, they're gonna play with the Executioner now, guys. Look at that.
Interesting.
Who is this executioner, and why have I never seen him before? And why does he have rating?
Background noise until
And why is he not in the tournament?
All right. What about you, Gaignun?
My
second pick.
picks. He took second pick, by the way. That is what we heard. I'm not sure if you guys heard that as well.
Second.
I think my first pick. So tricky, right? I think my first pick actually going into this is PD. I was talking to I don't know who it was, maybe Murder about this, maybe PD himself, because I've talked to both of them. And I said, no offense to Bregan, he's my longest running guy. Bregan himself said it. PD was on fire last tournament. I think he's my top pick. If I was Murder or Ska Boss, my second or third would be, I'm going to not count myself, so probably like Bregan and maybe Ebony after that would be like my list of the tops here.
And what about you, Evolution?
I think Murder would be my number one.
He's a team captain.
Well, I thought we were.
Oh, I
So
was under
are
the
we just-
assumption that these two picking.
Either
I don't
way,
know.
isn't it in the rules that the organizers have to go last?
They're
the
going to be
draft?
doing that a little differently since one of them is the captain. They're just going to try and make it so that there's no more than 2 moderators on both teams.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Murder only gets to pick one unless it's like last pick or something.
So what are the rules? I have to pick someone who isn't a mod.
Just pretend you were either murderer or ska boss in this situation.
Okay, so I think Ebony would probably be my number one. And let me take a quick glance over this.
Yeah, once we start this, you guys are going to see the spreadsheet as well, and watch the picks live. I don't know if that's what you see on the stream right now.
All right, I have the list in front of me. Yeah, I think Ebony would be my number one, and I think Gaignun would probably be my number two.
I've never tagged with Ebony, but that sounds like a blast, and I want that to happen. I hope someone picks both of us.
That's not
Yeah,
the
I
right
think
thing.
that's what I would go for.
What about you,
Yeah.
Bregan?
Oh, for me, I am too busy to think about it. If I'm honest.
All right, Schmidt represents Snows. Who are you going to pick? Your murder or your ska boss?
I was the first one to go. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
he already said.
You're right.
You're a terrible secondary.
Wow.
I was actually going down the list, and I thought like, well, there's one who hasn't, but it's Jay. Jay is the one I'm thinking about who hasn't.
That's because Jay is late.
Not here.
So my bad. I'm just like, well, I heard from Evo. Bregan doesn't want to. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, Bregan, who's your picks? Can't be yourself.
My first picks, I mean, easily, I've told people this before. Any tournament I'm going into, I would be taking PD over anybody else first.
He's fire right now.
Even if I wasn't looking at just this roster, but any player in the game, I would take PD first round every time. Second round pick, I guess, just going down my list would have to be Gaignun then.
I got an I guess.
Maybe if you weren't so rusty. Hint.
You know,
Wow.
honestly,
Practice.
funny enough, I feel pretty good lately. Like I said, when I talk about picks, I'm not going to count myself because I think that's unreasonable. But I came back like months ago and I was like, okay, let's do this. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm rusty. But I think that's because I was just in a busy place of life and didn't get to actually pay attention.
It
The
just
last few
kind of
sets
takes
I
some
had,
time too, because I've been in those shoes before too, and like it doesn't even matter if you put in a whole bunch of hours right at first. It feels like it takes time.
yeah, well,
Like
the
you have
last
to
few
acclimate.
weeks, yeah, the last few weeks I've had like 2 or 3 sets a week. I haven't been playing a ton, but you know, I've only been playing with heavy hitters, and it's all been looking good. So I feel pretty confident in myself right now. Plus, I am terrible at pickup games. I actually was talking to PD about this. My like win rate in pickup games is like 20% less. I can't answer why.
I would say that too. I play better in tournament games than I do in pickup games.
But you know, maybe that's why we always talk about arsenals together, and like we're builders.
I guess enough filleting ourselves as well. We can go ahead and move on. And oh, he wants a link to my stream. We'll go ahead and let them know to get started as well, so they can start doing it. I told them they can more or less do it at their own pace. And
Yeah,
then
we
we'll try and keep up. If they're going too fast, we'll tell them to slow down. If they're going too slow, we'll tell them to speed it up. Either way, I think we'll kind of play a little bit by ear.
Yeah, I'd probably just tell them to give us a minute on the first picks, even if they know what they want, because I'm sure those are the ones we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so if you want to fill some time for a moment, I'm going to type that to him.
All right, well, let's see. Schmidt, what is your hot take? What is the arsenal that's going to be like the new meta thing that isn't a meta thing right now, this next tournament?
Oh, that's very simple. It was the young white dragon arsenal that we saw in the last tag tournament. That arsenal is just going to bomb. Oh, it's either that or it's going to be fast bomb. Those are two arsenals that are really going to take a hot peek in this tournament, especially against Bregan. I don't know why, but everybody's going to play that against Bregan.
If you hit me with a fast bomb, I'll go back to lobby.
Wow. Well, you heard it here first.
It's like bad
If you want to win the
photons.
game,
I think
I don't
Demon's Fire
understand
is
it.
going to be the new meta.
Demon's
know what?
Fire. Ooh.
I love Demon's
It
Fire because I run out of Willow the
It
Wisp.
has the same tracking as Willow, but it moves faster and it costs 1 less, and it only takes away 1 health of life.
Yeah, and Lucifer's Arrow is like a big thing on some maps right now, and so it's not even always a cost.
Tiger Strength, Demon's Fire, Will o' the Wisp. Die all cartwheelers.
You know what's cool is you can do
Yeah.
that with is that reduce entropy, right? The 2 or less.
It does work with reduced entropy. I made an arsenal already. I was gonna run it with Backdraft, but I actually really prefer the right out the gate in their face. So instead I threw 3 Sky Pursuits in there for multi-purpose, of course. Tiger Strength Sky Pursuit after hitting them, or just using it to burn a little faster to get what you want.
Sky Pursuit is so nuts. Oh my gosh. I have an arsenal that's just like 2 heats, 2 tiger strengths, and some dumb swords. And like I had a +4 vacuum slash Sky Pursuit, and the Sky Pursuit found me another vacuum slash for the teammate. It's
also
dirty.
discovered through
Wow.
some testing and playing around today because I was super bored, no one was on. But oh, what's that
By the way,
other
just
auto
for math,
capture
that's
punch move?
that's Hyper Punch.
Yeah. That has a recovery time that allows for an instant dance of death.
Oh nice. That's cool.
Wow.
I was playing around earlier and left a swift flow on my bench and hyper punched, pulled the swift flow in my hand and instantly danced to death for 21.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
That's pretty sweet. But we're also about ready to start.
Let's
So
do it.
just to give a quick overview, we've got our roster of people here on the left. Our guests here, Gaignun and Gang, should have it pulled up as well, and they'll be able to see it update in real time, but we'll also kind of announce it as it goes, especially the first several picks. I'll be managing it, so you'll see me copying, pasting, cutting and pasting names around. We have the 2 teams listed here pretty clearly. Murder got Comic Sans because don't draft me on that team. I don't want Comic Sans. Campaigning for Ska Boss's team.
To be clear, Murder's team, even though they're blue, I believe they are Team Fire Emoji. I can't
yeah.
confirm
Oh wait,
the team
is
of
that a
Ska
thing that
Boss.
happened? We've got fire emoji and ice emoji.
Well, it's not ice emoji; it's snowman emoji.
Yeah, it's Snowman. Come on.
I guess I don't pay enough attention to the general chat.
They took away
I
the
know
snowflake, so it was originally
I-
the snowflake.
I know you're an innocent one, but I don't think you understand that there's 2 gangs in the streets right now, Bregan.
It's a war.
I mean, if it was down to fire versus ice, like literally that was the original emoji that we had for all of our Phantom Dust chats was the fire emoji. It's been there since the OG days. Like, I'm sorry, ice just isn't a thing.
So you got to get with the times, man.
All right,
Sounds like he's fire emoji.
Yeah, it
my
is.
Goodness.
we're ready for the first pick. I know they're listening in, so let's get it going.
Oh, they get to hear us? Sorry,
I
I'm
know
gonna make fun
that
of you, Murder.
Murder is listening in.
That'll help him like time.
All right, Ska Boss is typing. I am ready with my Control X.
I think he's gonna pick Bregan.
He did not. First pick
Oh,
of the tournament
Ebony.
is Ebony Scarface.
He is on our list of first or second, so it's very logical. Are we
He
doing
took one of
Snake?
the he took one of the moderators early too. Murder is clearly a little upset by it as well.
Yeah, no, I know Murder has very high regards for Ebony right now. I mean, and not to say he's not good, but Ebony, he's put him at like, top tier. And so that's a strong pick. And
He's definitely a
Murder, too.
player for me that is flirting right around that, top tier echelon. He has such impeccable defensive play that it's just so hard to take him out. Even if he has other weaknesses, that defensive play that he has makes up for a lot of it. There's very few players that are as hard to hit or as hard to take down eventually as Ebony.
yeah, I said this earlier, and PD made fun of me, so if he's watching, he's going to hate it. I said that Ebony is like the defensive Doom, where Doom has the aggression that just like outpaces everyone. Ebony's just like a mirrored opposite of that.
It's true. It's true. They are very much almost like opposite sides of a coin.
Murder is thinking on this pick, isn't he, by the way?
Well, they said they were going to take a little bit of time between the early
Oh.
picks to give us time to, give everybody their appropriate bro jobs for early picks.
Gotcha. I was just wondering if he was salty.
Anyone
I hope he's
want to take
picking
some side
Affen.
bets?
I was going to ask, what are your thoughts on that first pick, since that was also your first pick, Evolution?
I think Ebony's a solid choice. You can't go wrong with it. You kind of set the pace with that as your number one. I think it sends a message that PDDCM is Murder's first pick.
We got our next pick.
Oh, you know what? I
PDDCM.
was just gonna guess that. I know Murder and PD play together a lot, and so as we talk about like this this testing group and this like competitive practice group, definitely trying to maintain his comfort level with getting PD, and I mean the next option is Bregan. So who wants that?
Well, I think that jokes aside, I think it would be not only smart, like for skill wise, to pick up Bregan, but I think especially since Murder got PD, you don't want both of them on the same team.
The synergy's already there.
Yeah.
I mean, if Murder has the chance, I'd say pick Bregan. You got an already established team with synergy.
Yeah, and you know what though? As Ska Boss, if you end up with PD and Ebony, that is maybe the best defensive team I could ever build in the history of Phantom Dust. Like PD, I mean, everyone said he's been doing well, but like, I don't know if you've seen his defensive play. It has gone from like, that's not bad to dang, people can't kill him no matter how hard they try.
Absolutely. I couldn't sing his praises
that is
enough
a great-
as being his partner for several tournaments in a row. The guy is truly stepped up his game, and
Not to go back in
lot of
time,
admiration
but
for
I
him.
was his first partner.
Oh wow, shots are fired.
But then Bregan also, I don't know. I've been around.
So did Bregan upgrade or get sloppy seconds? Or did PD upgrade or never mind. I
definitely
myself on
upgraded.
You know
that.
what? I think I know what you're asking, and I'm gonna just say that I don't think Bregan's gone down in tiers. I think PD has just really stepped up his game.
I was not. No. That's not what I.
We've got our second pick for Ska Boss.
There's the breakup of the team.
Bregan.
Yep. There it is.
Interesting.
I think it makes a lot of sense. Interestingly, no, I won't share that thought. I can't share that thought. I don't think Murder would have picked Bregan next. That's all I'm going to say. I think you could have third picked him if you wanted. But yeah, it makes sense. Ebony and Bregan, two solid players. We've got a good start on both teams. Who do you guys think Murder's going to pick next?
I have a feeling it's going to be you.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways it could go, but I would put my money on it being you, Gaignun.
I'm looking down the list on like.
For my money, there's not anybody I would take before that. There's some other good candidates like Evo, Jay. You could even argue for Math or Jester.
I know that.
I mean, don't forget Sardonic Jester.
Right. Evo's been telling the praises of Math a lot, and I mean that's respectable. I've played with Math a lot. He's solid. I don't know if I don't think it's a disrespect if you don't pick him next, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's a high pick.
Got second pick for Murder.
Huh. Interesting teams. I'm enjoying this.
The original Bash brothers that trained me in Phantom Dust could potentially be reunited on this team.
What's interesting is if Bregan would have been on the same team, I would have had like every partner that I've won a tournament with together on a team.
Did you win a tournament with Davio?
Yeah. And just to call you out, Nathan, that was the one like 15,000 years ago where we never got that gift card.
Wow.
I think.
I'm still just mad that he never put up the recording of my match versus him with Goat.
It might be a fake memory. I'm not actually attacking you, Nathan, but I swear to God, that's a memory of mine.
The history books are pulled out tonight.
Okay, so like everyone talked about these names. This is what matters now, right? So like we took the biggest names off the table. We've divided them evenly. That's what we expected. What's happening for third pick? Because this is where things start to matter.
Right.
Third pick, if I was a captain, I would be less looking at a I'm not so sure I'd be looking for the next best thing, but I might be looking for someone who can throw something diverse and like a mix up, like maybe an SC War Machine with a Freya jumper, a good Freya jumper at that.
That's fair.
Just to keep some diversity in the team.
Yeah, not to downplay anyone. If I had to put money, the next 2 picks are going to involve Math, Evo, or Jay, I think.
I would agree with that.
I think I'm leaning more towards Jay or Math than myself. I have not been playing well at all.
I remember
And they
that
both
time I
quit.
revived you 10 times in the same game.
Oh, it happened yesterday, so it was 12 yesterday. But in my defense, I was running a lingering flame arsenal.
All right, we
my God.
have
Triple L.
And
what I would
Triple
call
L,
a
for everyone's
surprising third pick.
Triple L had an old gamer tag, right? It was
Dana Joe Luke.
Thank you. Yeah. So
He's a solid player. Have any of you guys gotten to play him? Because I played him a bunch, and he is a very solid jumper. He does that Bregan shit where he stands in front of you and just jumps swords.
I actually taught him to do that recently. He's been practicing.
Nice.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, he isn't a vocal player in the community, to my knowledge, but he's a very common player. I've seen him in lobbies all the time, and so I'm not surprised. But Skaboss sees him a lot, knows his potential, not just from tournament results, but personal experience. Makes a lot of sense as a comfort pick.
I think Jay is going to be the next pick.
If Murder doesn't pick Jay, did he say his sidekick or his he gave him some slightly rude title.
I
Said he
was
was
just basing it off of skill.
Oh, he said he was going to tell him what to do. I remember that in the chat.
Mm.
But yeah, I think Jay is a solid one. Both Jay and Math are people that Murder's played with a ton. But Jay, I mean, they go back. No one's surprised by this pick at all, right?
Yep, it's third
That's
pick
true.
Jay.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is where I think it's even getting wider, right? We talked about like that War Machine, that Jester as possibilities. Evo and Math are on the table.
Murder is saying that Math is the one he called his lackey.
Oh, was it Math as the lackey? I'm sorry. You're right. I knew it was one of the two. I think Show is the next pick, honestly.
Well, if he can play any better than he did in the last tag tournament, I mean, I would.
You know what?
I saw him.
I'm going to give him credit. He did pretty good in the last showcase match. Not going to lie. Did some stuff. Effin, I'm on your team. Don't listen to them.
We know Bregan's not, so gotta have somebody in his corner.
Team.
All right, we've got our fourth pick. Let me just move it over.
War Machine. He's been on the talking. War Machine, solid.
It's a solid
jumper.
pick.
Yeah, very a lot of play. Definitely a lot of experience all the time. One of those active in the fray players. Also coming up, in my opinion, Choices. He's on this list. He's not
I was going to
dead.
mention him, but I was going to say it, but then he made his pick for War Machine. I was going to say, we're all forgetting about Choices, man.
I'm surprised nobody's picked Jester yet. I think Sardonic Jester is probably my pick for the best player remaining on here, or at least close to.
Evo, Math, Jester, and Choices, I think, are all really solid. Choices took a long hiatus, so giving him a lower pick for that, totally respectable. He generally held his own. I played him his first game coming back after months. And so, he didn't get a positive record, but he didn't look like garbage.
Don't forget as well with this pick, Skaboss and War Machine played together. They pulled off, what was it, a top 4 finish?
That was a good team.
They were put together, randomly, too. Basically.
They were remaining,
hey, nobody's picked you yet. You guys want to play together?
Partners, yeah.
Yeah, that put Skaboss on the radar for me, to be honest.
Yeah. They played really well together, and they pulled off. It was a top 5 placement or something like that in a tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, and that might speak to Murder picking me and PD and Jay. Hey, these are people I've played with, people I know. That's legit. Evo.
There goes Evo. Yep.
That is definitely a respectable pick. I know that you're on Team Jester, Bregan, but I don't know. Murder's old blood, right? And Jester's been around a long time, but his showing has been recent. And we see him going for some people with history. And I think that's fair. Evo is a real player and not just a backpack. And he's put up some good results.
Got our next pick.
Just gloss right over it. Math, yeah, that's fair. Math is solid. Math, Bregan, and Ebony is like a pretty good little trio of people I've seen play together a lot. I think we'll all have some synergy with one another.
Oh yeah, and especially throwing War Machine in the mix. I mean, you compare Skyboss and you could pair War Machine up with really any of them, and it would be a pretty hard duo to play against.
It's worth noting. I just want to throw something out there. I don't know if I agree with it, and maybe y'all can discuss it while we're getting some more picks going. But Skabos says he considered triple on the same level as PDDCM.
Wait, what does that mean? What?
He considered
yeah.
Dana Joe Luke Triple L same level as PDDCM.
Honestly, I think experience comes to this, right? So Skabos, aka representing the late night crew, he's a grinder of sorts, and that's not an insult, right? It's just talking about the amount of casual play getting in. Like PD, while casual playing, all his sell is on his tournament play, and to be fair, that's not like it's not what you see every day. And so I don't know. I disagree, but I can see where he got it.
Next pick was Brawley.
Have either of you played
I have
Broly or
not gotten
Vegeta?
the opportunity to yet. No.
Let me tell you these guys' story a little bit.
Vegeta is out. It's only Brawley.
Oh, Vegeta's not playing. Okay.
He
So
posted. Broly posted in the chat that Vegeta and his wife are going through labor right now, having their baby. So congratulations to you guys if you happen to listen to this.
Oh yeah, congrats.
But yeah, so these two, to give you background, you might have seen them in the group chat, but if not, hey, I'll tell you because they're brand new. They're not brand new. They've been on X-Link Kai for years with a tighter knit, smaller community than ours, and they wanted to look for new blood. I've already seen them playing the likes of I think War Machine and other solid players, and putting up some reasonable results. So it's going to be interesting seeing a brand new player in the community.
It's pretty cool.
Jester's the next pick. I mean, I don't think that was a surprise.
Yeah, do you think Jester was too low?
With the way that the picks have been going, I don't think so. I think
if Jester was active, I would say yes, but he has not been active.
That's true. He hasn't been playing as much. If he was active, I think he would have definitely at least made like third or fourth pick for me.
Super fair. I mean, you think that someone's once told me I had a fortress of arrogance. I can't remember who said that. Maybe it's one of you. Maybe it was Murder. Look, me being fourth pick, look, I didn't play for a while. I think I missed 2 tournaments. Super read that, right, in the scenario. And I think Jester has a little bit of that same thing, without as much of the, I don't know. He's had successes, but he's not a name that's annoying people enough, coming up enough in conversation yet. Probably will in the future.
Right, I think we're going to see his name brought up a lot in this tournament, especially once he gets back into it, gets full on just beat face. I mean, he's going to make showing again.
Yeah. I like this pick. Algol Mantis.
Algol is a legit player. I do not see him enough. I'm glad to see him.
He is like an OG. He's squirrely, man.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
He's really, really good with his positioning to hit you in the back with a blaster when you're right when you're focused on, his teammate.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed playing with Algol.
His choices being picked next, or you just trolling him?
I think there's a troll going on.
Algol Mantis got picked next.
I know, but you were playing with them. So next,
I think it's odd that he hasn't been chosen yet. I think he's getting lower down the list, and so it's amusing to me. And so I've decided to meme him.
Hey, Murder, you're listening, right? Can you pick choices after Affin? Thank you.
Oh.
Or after Orange
Shadow Shield picked. Oh, yes. After Orange Baby, that's it.
Shadow Shield has shown some very impressive 1v1 play in his history. Not as much experience in the tag, but a solid player in a tournament where you're going to match up with different players maybe every round. He's the kind of guy who can hold his own. I like that. I think he I know he hasn't always had the perfect showing, but I definitely respect his play. Who's taken Psycho Burst to the face? I have.
I'm trying to remember who all is left.
Well, if you can see
people
it.
of
Well, if you
note.
have the document.
No,
Yeah.
my screen's cut off at Darcia.
After
Under
Darcia is
Darcia,
Killer Mark, Alice, Orange Baby, Snowtide, Game God, and Ancient Anubis Q.
and I think Darcia, Killer Mark,
I think Snowtide
Mirage.
is the pick here, and I only say that because I got to see him in action. I forgot who was playing him. But stream was up, man.
Oh,
He
he's
was,
not some last choice.
Choices is fair. You know what? Choices also, as this goes, has had a lot of experience with these players. This might be a synergy pick in a lot of ways. I've played with him quite a bit. You know, I've been in rooms with him and Jay and such, and Evo. You know, a lot of familiarity of play style really matters in these mid picks, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like Murder was just trying to save him from having to team
They
up with
stole
No
the first snow.
rise. No, they didn't. You were the first snow.
Oh, that's true. The
But
first
wow,
OG snow.
Snow Rise picked.
Interesting.
Killer
I'm
Mark,
not-
Garcia, a lot of people.
Or yourself.
Don't give me too much credit. I mean, I won the backpack round, but it came down to a lot of factors there.
That was a good
Let's
match.
just be fair. After the backpack round, we all know that Snow Schmidt is the best.
the
and
better.
That Snow Rise
Best
is
Snow.
a
Thank
tiny
you.
little baby.
Oh yeah.
That's what was
that's
proven.
rude.
It was
Well,
proven.
you also got to think. I don't scream at everybody anytime I get hit by any move.
Wow. So
Just-
what's interesting is Game God. There we
Wow.
go. That's a
Oh.
legit pick.
That's a name people haven't seen in a while. The guy's got solid mechanics and can make Hyper Kybullet do things it shouldn't. But I ain't seen him in a while, so I think this
I don't
is
know if he
about where
has-
I would want to see him drafted.
I don't know if he still has the game downloaded. Cannot confirm. But I'd love to see him.
This seems like a pretty appropriate place to be picking him because
Yeah.
he if he shows up, he's definitely going to be rusty at least early on. If he starts playing again, the guy had potential. You know, he is a solid middle of the table pick. So I
Sure.
think this is about where you should expect him.
Yeah. I'm expecting now Killer. Oh, you're already covering Killer Mark. That's who I was gonna say
Yep.
next. Killer Mark is similar in my mind to War Machine, someone who is one of the scrappiest pickup players I know. You know, no matter how the set's going, just a lot of perseverance and I don't know, scrappy is I mean,
think
as a high
Mirage.
compliment, but it's the word.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say it before it was picked. I think
yeah,
Mirage
Mirage
would be a good pick right now.
Mhm.
For sure. I haven't seen him in a minute, but his earlier re-release tournament showings were real impressive. Yeah.
I think I would go with Nathan next if I were that. Or
Here's
well,
here's
we've
the
got
question.
this one too. These would have been my two picks.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I would have gone Snow Schmidt next or Nathan next would have been my two.
What is Nathan without the wolf? Nathan's actually a legit player without wolf, but it's interesting to see
A
them
sensor
not.
mine without friendships. That's what he is.
Because we look at for instance, they probably purposely separated Snow Rise and Snow Schmidt. No surprise to anyone that was somewhat intentional. Yeah, Nathan can't be separated from Wolf because they're perma separated.
Yeah.
Affin
Show,
Show, my boy.
I definitely feel like Mirage needs to be a pick coming up. I mean, he
Mirage?
shows some
Right.
decent mechanics
Darcia
and adaptability. Yeah, Darcia too. Absolutely. I just don't know Darcia as much as I've played more outside of tournament with Mirage than I have Darcia.
That's fair.
Murder
and
did
just
outright say that he picked Schmidt in order to separate them.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's literally what I would do, right? Once they have won.
I mean, yeah, we've never actually been separated in competitive play, so it'll be interesting. We actually played a decent amount today, and
now you have Snowtide though, triple snow team.
So a little background. Back when me and a couple of the other Snows, we played a long time ago and then dipped out of it. Except for Snowrise, he stuck back and joined the community and joined up with all of you. But Snowtide, we convinced to actually just show up for this tournament, and we do consider him probably the best gamer in our group, just general game sense and playability wise. And so when he picked the game back up, we were not surprised at all with his showing. I mean, he's showing that he's been out of the game for a while, but he has a lot of skill and a lot of potential, especially if he sticks with it past the tournament. He will be a formidable player.
That's exciting to see. I want to give there's the Nathan. honestly, if Wolf was in here, I would have picked Nathan like 3 picks earlier, maybe 4. But alone, like I said, he's a synergy player, one of the best ever. He's a good player on his own, but I think this makes sense. By the way, I know basically every player in this tournament because I've been around for forever, but I want to give a little bit of respect that, by the way, I apologize, Ancient Anubis Q, I've never played with you. Also, Virgula Odin, if I don't mention your names, it's not because you're amazing humans. I don't know you guys, but I love you.
I know Odin, but I haven't played with Skimmy Style or Ancient Anubis.
Yeah, and I like these you know, new names and faces. They can bring different play styles and different team comps. Mirage.
There's
I would have.
Mirage.
It's interesting seeing the Schnoes get picked up. Makes sense before Mirage, but like I still would have picked him earlier probably. Like he has a strong history.
I think that boils down ultimately to it's not just about like what I was saying earlier, pure skill. I mean, you got to put FaceTime in too, and
For
it's
sure.
true we don't see Mirage or
Yep.
Garcia.
And there's
We know
Darcia.
that they're good and capable, but you know.
What's interesting, do you notice that I actually asked Murder and PD. They did a mock draft a while back, right? Not a while back, it's like a week ago. And I asked them what did team synergy go into the drafting? And PD said, "Oh, I didn't think of it at all." But honestly, the Snows are separated, Mirage and Darcia are separated, PD and Bregan are separated. I think
Yep.
there's a lot of respect to we can't let existing teams happen.
Well,
and you
let's
see
be
that
fair here
all
too.
at once.
This is a tag tournament, but it's individual performance based.
Well,
Right.
so the team captains can, if they pick a duo that's strong, they'll keep putting them together. It's
Well,
Orange
you
Babies
can't.
next. Is that
You
real?
can't do that. It's in the rules that you can't play the
Murder
same player
said
2
that he
times in
wanted
a row.
everybody to know he's not happy about it. But yes.
Oh, you know what? Hot take. My pick would have been a little Carbon.
I would have. I would not have picked Orange Baby. I would have probably picked Odin or Little Carbon, one of the two.
I don't know who I would have necessarily picked, but I think Orange Baby, he's got a bad rap, but the guy is fairly solid mechanically. I think he's better mechanically than a couple of the people that have picked above him. He's just a very frustrating teammate. If you can get him to talk to you and tell you what he's about to do before a match, he's not that bad to play with. He just doesn't tend to volunteer the information before he quantum decays his teammates.
I think that's fair. I think he's a lot like Nathan in like the type of arsenals he builds. Nathan we always see him doing it with Wolf, so we always know it's planned.
Got our next 2 picks in, by the way.
By the way, Evo, I'm just gonna eat like my shoe here because you're completely right. I did not read the rules thoroughly. They can't tag more than once, but that is maybe one free win if you get a team. So I'm still standing by that. But yeah,
You
switching
could play
partners.
again towards the end round. Like the
That's fair,
captain
yeah.
plays with whoever's earned the most points.
Yeah, that's super fair. So like, it's still important to get partnerships, and obviously the draft says that they respected it. We ended up with an odd number here, but such a good number of participants. How many picks do we have?
The final number I think came out to 29 people.
15. Yeah, it looks like I think there's gonna be 15 and 16 at the end.
So 31.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then Ancient Anubis 16. Not because you're the worst player, we just don't know you. I expect you to do amazing things.
Oh, it's so adorable.
But not against me because you're on the other team. Hashtag
yeah.
Team Snow.
Yeah, Team Snow. Snow Rise is dead to us. He's just Rise.
All right, that does finish the draft then. Hot take. Who got the better? Let's say out of the first 5 picks, and then we'll also have you say which you think is better overall. But out of the first 5 picks, who do you think did better in their first 5?
I think Murder, but I think that comes from me having a very similar OG and tournament focused mentality. And Skaboss is obviously based on some of this casual grind by some of his by his third through fifth. His middle picks there seem very clear to me. Maybe I'm wrong, Skaboss. Maybe I'm reading you wrong, but I think that's what I'm seeing. Murder's like, well, dang, let's just go for Hall of Famers. And Skaboss is like, what if I get the best up and coming rookies? So just because I think I lean towards Murder doesn't mean that I don't know. I don't know if that's right.
I think they're pretty evenly matched, for the most part, based
Well,
off the tournament format as well.
Well, so the question was just who had the best first 5 picks.
First 5, I would almost lean towards Ska when I look at it first because I see Ebony and Bregan, but then I see Dana Joe and War Machine and Math. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but then I look over at Murder's team and I see PD, Gaignun, and Jay right off the rip, and those are heavy hitters. I'm not even counting myself. I don't even feel like I should have been picked in the top 5. But I think the first 3 alone are what defined it.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the same thing. I mean, on surface level, at first glance, I would go with Skaboss, but the more you think about it, I think definitely overall Murder, and especially with synergized with rest, like him being able to mix up his team with all of his choices, him being able to mix up so many people. I think that Murder got the better end of the top 5.
Yeah, and I guess another piece of my opinion comes from the fact that this is unavoidable in the way it went out, right? There was a 1v1, there were votes, but Murder is on Murder's team. And to be frank, I think he got 3 of the top 5.
I agree. I've been saying it forever now. Murder, in my opinion, is overall defensive, strategy, arsenal building, offensive, mechanics. I feel like he's the best player in the game. And I won't change my mind on that. I know that there's some heavy contenders like Zan, and but I think overall,
I think that the teams would have been even if Murder had himself, PD, and me, and Ska had Ebony, Brig, and Zan. I think that would make it even. But to be frank, I think Murder has a 1-up on aces in this hole. Maybe I'll suck in that. I'll have to eat those words. Maybe not. We'll see.
Fortress of Eric.
Yeah, was that you? Was that your name?
I think Murder, by virtue of being a captain and one of the top 5 players, as well as having a little bit better priority early on, I think he ended up with 3 out of the 5 top players in the team or in the tournament. And I think his top 5 picks were stronger as well. However, I feel like, and this is my other take, I think after you get outside the top 5, that I felt like Skaboss actually outperformed him, and I felt like a lot of his picks started fleshing out better. Maybe even starting at 5th pick with Math, Jester, Shadow Shield. If I just look at the next 3, 5 through 7, Brawly, Algo choices versus Math, Jester, Shadow Shield. I definitely think Skaboss was outperforming him in the mid game, if we want to call it that way. And so I think he makes up for it a bit by having a stronger second string, if you want to use a different set of terms.
War Machine, Math, Jester, definitely an impressive set. And then I also think Killer Mark, he got a little bit lower, but I think that's respectable. I think Murder drafted more synergy, in my opinion, and we'll have to see how that. I think Skaboss got a little better of the, middle picks. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't want to tier list anyone. It's all opinion, anyways. But I think Murder got a lot of people that he'll be able to team very strategically and use to good work.
All right, we're gonna invite both captains in now.
Where's Jay?
Discuss. Jay, I guess, never did show up. You're not late anymore, Jay. You're dead to me, is what you are now.
Wow.
Dead.
Because they're on opposite teams. That's why.
Jay, being on my team, you're not dead to me. Just so you know, you can still be my friend.
Well, he'll be literally dead to me if he faces me. Ayo.
Oh, sure.
No, it's very clever. I'm glad I joined.
I just point out that Florida boys are running this tournament. We got Murder, Jay, myself, some poor choices, Snow Schmidt, Mirage, all from Florida, man.
That was actually the primary thing when picking. I wanted to make sure everyone on my team was from the proper state. So.
Except you're in the right state, but the wrong time zone.
No.
True.
Like, you got it halfway right.
I'll take it.
No, that's legit. That's interesting. Honestly, a strategy too, right? Low ping. It's a thing.
We're gonna beat him through lag, boys.
Wait,
We the
yeah,
lag boys.
we
Is
saw you
Scott Boss
lagging.
joining?
I actually don't know if Scottboss is
He
joining.
says he doesn't know how to
Oh.
join on PC.
Murder from
he may not
your
have Discord.
perspective, that 1v1.
You don't have to have
how-
Discord. You can do it through the browser. Just
I don't know these things. Don't yell at me in capital letters.
Wow.
Murder, what happened in that lag of the 1v1? Because it looked like you were in a blender.
When I got Murmossa bladed,
no,
Just
the
whole
one.
time.
The whole game.
I mean, it was pretty bad the whole time, but there was a point where you
Oh.
got hit by something up high after you hit him with the first willow, and we have no idea what happened. He gained
It was a
health, you
vamp-
lost health. We didn't.
it was a vampire bat, and I couldn't block in
Oh.
time because my character's knees were still bending for his animation.
Okay, vampire.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when I stream on Twitch, the quality comes out real shitty. I don't know why.
It was pretty bad.
Normally, it's only that bad when you're watching through someone else. Like if you're just watching the stream by itself, it's fine. But if you're like watching through Bregan's channel, it's atrocious. I don't know why.
I mean, I was watching.
Well, I
you
was
live.
watching.
I was watching live.
Oh, and it was
I was
still like
watching
that.
on yours too.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
still pretty
No, maybe it's because I have 4 kids and they're all on their Xboxes.
That's fair. got 5
That's probably
Xboxes
what
now?
that is. Say what?
You got like 5 Xboxes?
Each of my older kids have their own Xbox Ones, and then Desmond was watching something on YouTube on the PS4, and then Bella's on her phone. I don't know.
I didn't really need to ask that
Playing
question,
My
but it was
Little
just an
Pony.
interesting statement made.
I make sure I give precise answers. I have no clue if Scott's actually joining or not.
I think he's trying to, but having Scott
Murder,
Boss
what are your
difficulties.
thoughts about how the draft went for you?
Oh.
Well, I was very surprised he picked Ebony first, but I think he just did that because he knew I was going to pick him first.
Smart move.
'Cause, yeah, Ebony was. I expected him to pick you first, Gaignun, and I thought, yeah.
I mean, if you would have asked me, I
So
would have
I'm
picked
pretty
PD
bummed about
first.
that.
That's what I told everyone, is pick PD
Can we do
first.
swapsies?
Swapsies.
No.
Yeah. So I gotta look at the list again.
It would
So
be
actually-
entertaining if you guys could offer to make a trade.
Yeah,
Like,
give
we'll
me
give
War
you-
Machine, you
Oh,
jerk.
like a one-time offer, like I will give you X player for Y, like before the,
I will
the
give-
tournament starts. I think that'd be pretty interesting.
I will
The-
give
the-
you
the
Ebony
player I
for
was-
free if you take Bregan.
The 2 players I was most upset that I didn't get were Ebony, obviously, and War Machine.
I think Scott Boss is in here with us now.
Yeah, I
Scott
heard
Boss.
you.
He's quiet.
Hello.
Hey, what's
There you
up?
are. We were asking Murder
Ebony-
how he thought he did. How do you feel
Ebony
you
and
did on
War
your
Machine
draw?
were the characters I wanted.
I feel like I got
Feel like you got the what?
the perfect team.
Perfect team.
Interesting.
Very
I
happy
assumed
with his
he was
draw.
gonna pick Zhang second, so I would have got on second.
You're breaking up a bit.
But you said
It
you
sounded
picked
like
Zanks this second.
Yeah, Xanxus wasn't on the roster anymore.
But he will be cheering on Team Murder, so that's okay.
Can you repeat what you said earlier, Scott Boss? I didn't quite get it. You were breaking up.
That would have second. Assume murder.
I'm only getting like every third word.
Yep.
Type it into the general chat, and we will.
Read it for you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
we
why
did-
don't you explain
go on.
how while he does that, why don't you explain how the next steps of this work, Murder, since we've only
Okay.
touched on it lightly.
Yeah. So from here, what will happen is, since Skabas had first pick, he must assemble 2 teams of 2. Obviously, he will assemble 7 teams of 2. So he will have one person who has to sit out this round because I don't have that many people on my team. He will assemble 7 teams, and from there he shows them to me, I'll coordinate with my team, and I will assign pairings against each of his teams. It sounds a lot more confusing what it is.
He'll have 2 people sitting out.
2 people? Is that what it is? 2 people?
Yeah, he has 2 extra, and you have 1 extra. Unless you want to do a 1-on-1.
Oh, Zenxis dropped out of the tournament. Straw.
Remember.
Yeah, Zan dropped out.
He said, assumed Murder was going to pick Zan after I got Ebony. I was going for PD second. So his assumption was he wanted Ebony and then PD, which I said would have been the best defensive team in the history of Fanadust.
I don't honestly know how well that would work because they both play relatively conservatively.
I've played against both of them more than once.
I haven't.
They are very tough together. The last time I played with them, I played with Xanxis versus them, and I think it was about 70-30 our favor, me and Zan versus PD and
I think they would need to
Ebony.
prepare a little more.
They're a team that would definitely benefit from preparation.
I can't see how 2 defensive players can fare well. I mean, the whole
PD hits the gas pedal
Me and
real
Ebony
well. but
did pretty
job off
well, and-
agrees with you.
But you're not so much
defensive.
defensive, though. I mean, you have defenses, but you play offensively. Ebony, when I say
Oh, I
defensive,
see.
I think of Ebony sitting in his spawn trying to get to 10 for the first 2-3 minutes of the match.
He should just learn from Bregan how to do it in the first 20 seconds.
Right?
I mean, I would say that is, one of his weaknesses is he's not always there when it's time to fight early on. His defensive play makes up for a lot of that, but he is not a perfect player by any means. Not that I would say there's anybody who is truly a perfect player yet anyway, but that is definitely his weakness is that he's not ready a lot of the time, or he's still trying to set something up.
Not to talk.
Usually makes
Scott
up
Boss
for
gets
it.
his voice. He said that he wasn't planning on Ebony and PD as a team, in his opinion.
I mean,
I don't know.
That's the next set of strategy is like, do you just throw all your heavy hitters together early and pick up some W's, or do you spread them out and try and pick up more wins? Like, do you put, Gaignun and PDDCM together early, or do you see if PDDCM could, clutch out a win against, say, a Bregan and Ebony?
Do you try for 7 backpacks or 3 superheroes?
Let me explain the format one more time before he joined in, so I only have to do it once. All right, so Skabos will set up his teams. Hopefully he coordinates with teams, which I know Skabos will. Don't just be a dictator. Which if he wants to be, I guess he can. Whatever. It's your team. I don't care. And then you'll show them to me. I will assign teams to play against your team. So I have knowledge of what teams you have, right? And then from there, I will create big chats for the teams, Skabos. And then from there, the teams will play. We'll tally up points. And then I have to show my teams first to Skabos. And then he will do the same thing I did when he pairs them. You cannot have people on a team who have already been on a team together. So just because I have PDDCM and Gaignun, they can only be in a team once. I can't pair them every round or even twice throughout the entire tournament. Okay. And and you just go there until the end. We're going to be doing 6 rounds.
Cool. So 6 weeks, pretty much.
So
6 weeks of play.
It's probably going to be closer to 2 months because we're allowing some time in between the setting up of teams. So Skabos will have 24 hours to set up his teams, and then from there, sorry, I just saw what Game God wrote. And then from there,
right where?
I don't know where he wrote it. He may have just messaged it to me. It just showed up in my corner of my screen. And then I will have 24 hours to assign my team to his team. So there's going to be 2 days where the teams are just getting set up. So it's going to give for some extra time to the tournament. But that's just something we have to do.
Share the juicy details. What did Game God say?
Each round, I believe.
Where's that?
I don't give a shit about your rules. I want to know what the deets are, man.
Right? The rules can come later. We can read.
He said, "For the love of God, do not pair me with Orange."
Didn't he play a tournament with Orange?
Do you know
he teamed with him for a tournament, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It was rough.
the hardest part is I can only carry Evo in 1 round. Who's going to revive him 12 times next?
Oh,
Me.
wow.
Don't
Wow.
worry. I got your back.
PDDCM's got the revive gang.
He does. That's
But yeah,
That's
is there
at
any
least
more
2 rounds
questions?
that Evo could win.
Is there any questions in regards to the format of the tournament? Because it's actually the first time I've spoken about it to an audience. Any questions? Oh, Squall has had a good question. Let's say we have someone drop out after round 2, right? We have one player from one team drop out. We are not going to do subs or anything like that unless we have someone who's just dying to get in. But I feel like that will mess up the drafts portion of it. So what we're going to do is you're just down a player, but you still end up playing the same number of matches. So just because they have more people with you, they are still going to play the same number of matches than the team with a smaller team. Does that make sense?
Can I
So
ask you a
the-
weird
Someone just
question?
hashes it out.
Yeah, so it balances itself out. I don't expect too many people to drop, but over the course of 2 months, there probably will be someone or two who drops. But if that happens, we'll just keep going. You probably will lose points on that round, depending on how it plays out. But after that, the matches will be evenly.
Weird question,
set.
Murder. Like right now, Skabass has one extra person. So if he
Yeah.
loses one, you'll each have one person sitting out. Will you have a 1v1 as the extra team, or will you have just one sitting out on each team?
We'll have one sitting out, mainly because that probably would have been a good idea, but I didn't set that up in the rules, and it's not something I accounted for. The 1v1 for the spare probably would have been a cool idea. But it's just something we didn't set up.
At the moment, if one person drops out or 2 on Skabass's team, it won't actually affect the number of matches right now. So that's a good news. So that
But I can
means
see
we
how it
can
could
lose.
just fill in, but as of right now, we just have people sit out. Unless it becomes an issue, which your plan is actually pretty good. I actually like that, and we could do that just so people can still play the game. Because at the end of the day, that's what people want to do. Like, I really don't like the idea of people sitting out. So I want people to be able to play, even if it's just a 1v1.
Can we just have the 3 extra people go into a battle royale just for like street cred?
If they don't mind scheduling that match and the people don't mind recording it, then of course they can.
That'll be Affin's weekly. That'll be Affin's weekly game.
Yeah, I mean, as long as people don't mind scheduling that and people don't.
That's the only thing we're gonna let him cast anymore.
Well, I'm gonna be fair.
Relegate him to the clown episodes.
You cannot have someone sit out more than one round. So if Affin sits out round 1, he cannot sit out again for the rest of the tournament.
Playing 5 rounds in a row.
I like that rule.
I was just saying we're relegating him to only being allowed to cast that.
Oh no, it's just a something I forgot to mention because once again, everyone gets a chance to play.
Yeah, I like it.
Lag out.
Trying to think if there's anything else. You guys have any more questions on the format before we press on to?
Are we doing the silent rule for lag outs?
Yes, so the same lag out rules, most of the same rules in game apply. We're still having the soft hanging rule, which if you don't know what that is, contact one of our moderators and we'll be glad to explain it to you. We're still doing the lag out rule. If you need it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I just wanted to point out, guys, if you have spotty connections, please do try anything you can, because yes, this is a tag tournament, but this is individual performance based in order for players to advance. So if you know that your connection
hold on.
like,
you keep saying that and I don't quite I don't know what you mean by it.
So look, in your rules it states that the captain and the player with the most wins will advance to the final match.
Advance, I did not use either of those terms. So at the end, for a chance to get one more score up points for your team, we will do the match where the team captain and the person with the highest most points from your team up the other team's version of that. So your points still go towards your team's points. It's kind of like a one loss hoorah. Hey, we're down by 3 points. See if you can give us 3 points thing. Because at the end of the day, there'll be a team of winners and a team of, let's say, not winners.
Get him with the chancla. Get him.
Okay. Because I heard you say that a few times and I didn't know what you were talking about.
Well, because the way I'm seeing it with players switching teammates constantly, it's no longer about a synergy at this point. It's about
the whole team. It's about Murder's team.
Yeah, it's about team fucking.
So this is like Gangland Wars right
Team
now.
Snowman.
Yes. I don't know. No, we're not Team Snow. Oh, we're nipping that in the butt right now. We're team Melt Snow. There, that's our team.
Whoa.
Yep. Yeah, get some hostility over here.
All right, so you remember that trade thing we were talking about? Gaignun, we need to go.
All right, no, we're not Team Melt Snow, but we have to come up with a cooler team name.
I still think
cool
that is an
snow.
interesting idea if they elect to do it. You guys could try and make a trade.
If me and Schmidt win every round, I want you to change your name to Snow Mastodon.
Do it. Yep.
I mean, Snow Mastodon, first of all, is a badass name, so I wouldn't even mind that. Because that's what Mastodons lived in. So, yeah.
Thank you for the science.
Breaking out the
continues
biology
to
facts.
spread.
Thank you, Professor Mastodon.
Was a mastodon
also
a real
a cool
thing,
name.
or are we talking about a mammoth?
A mammoth is Mastodon is a term for mammoth. Any other
I'll have
science I
to
need
Google
to
check that.
hit? Yeah.
I was gonna say,
welcome.
isn't that like the genus name for it or something?
Yeah. Close out all your porn tabs and Google that. All right. So, hey,
Funny
Squawk,
story.
No.
We'll trade you
Come on.
Evo for Snow Rise.
Do you want to do a trade for? If you say no, we can present them to each other, and if you don't want to do them,
Yeah, each of
Mastodon
you gets to
okay.
make a trade offer.
who's Black Douglas saying Mastodons are different? Okay, don't prove me wrong. Get
Google
out of
says
here.
they are different.
Okay,
Push
but they're still the
stop on.
same. Leave me alone.
Who you got?
What's
Yeah,
your
who's
trade
your
offer,
offer?
Murder?
Want
I'd like
me
to
to go
get War
first?
Machine.
He says who you got.
Okay, hold on. I got to open up the right tab here. All right,
War
so
Machine is looking mighty tasty right now.
Evo for Snow Rise.
I want.
Deal.
I have a feeling you're not going to let me go, Ebony. I want War Machine.
He wants War Machine. Scott Boss is typing. No,
Well,
Alice
No,
is typing.
you gotta
typing.
offer somebody, dude. You gotta make the offer. You want War Machine? Who are you offering?
Well, Scott Boss, who would you take for War Machine? You can ask it that way too.
I don't like this idea because somebody is sitting there going,
Do it.
somebody is
Do
going to
it.
get their name thrown up that we're willing to trade off, and they're going to get feelings hurt. I
PDDCM
don't
for
think
War
this-
Machine. Do it.
Yeah.
Give me my boy.
No. Denied. Get out of here with your shaky shenanigans. I want Ebony Scarface. I'll give you Skimmy style.
All right. Scott Boss gets to offer one. Scott Boss gets
Can
to
we
offer
trade
one.
Ebony for Gaignun? I would do that.
Now, what do you
You
got?
want to
Scott?
give me Bregan? Let's go.
Yeah,
All right,
I would
Scott-
trade.
Scott,
You want to trade Ebony and Gaignun?
he said no to that one. All right, Scott, what trade would you make? Who do you want?
Who do you want?
Hot take. I've played with everyone on my
Nails for
team and no one on
carbon.
the other team. That would be terrible for me.
Alice for Carbon.
Oh, Alice is typing. Let's see what Alice thinks about that.
Okay. No. No. That's a no. Little Carbon has shields in her deck. You're being unreasonable, Skabas.
Okay, but I'm just saying we're one snow
All right,
away
looks
from
like
having
all
the
the
full
trades
set.
were declined then.
What about some poor choices for math?
They were picked like 3 picks away from each other. Just saying.
But I don't think they were reasonably.
Skyball said
to be
nope.
that far apart.
You're also, I mean, that trade wasn't legal because it wasn't offered by
Yeah.
the captain.
Come on.
I want War Machine, and Skabas is really making me mad here.
Well,
Evo for
see,
War
all
Machine.
right, give him one last offer for War Machine. Give him one last offer.
All right, let me look at the thing again. Gotta open it up.
I think he was shooting a little high there, but maybe you can give him a sweet
PD.
deal. He'll
I will
agree to.
trade some poor choices for War Machine.
I mean, that's like 4 choices down. Come on.
Honestly, though, I think they're close in play in skill level. Honestly,
He said nope.
I will remember this.
He clearly could have picked some poor choices long before War Machine.
Well, you know
I'm just
what?
saying that was clearly one he was going to say no to.
All right, Skaboss.
He's got one last type in him. Let's see what it is, and then we'll.
One last
call the
type, like his
bullshit
fingers
game.
are breaking and he can't.
SC is worth at least a Geiger a J. You're nuts.
Oh my god. All right.
War Machine, you're a legit player, but
All right. So wherever War Machine is going, guess what, Gaignun? Guess who you're facing?
Just so you know, I'm going to bring that Fortress of Arrogance. I don't think I've ever lost competitively to War Machine.
Wow.
You know, what I think is interesting about this tournament, too, is if, like, say the captains wanted to, they could have the same two players play each other every round. Like,
Me and Evo were talking about that earlier.
could I
Just have someone
it could
follow.
be like the continual grudge match between me and
Like
PDDCM every
when you
round.
play basketball, you can be like, hey, you guard this guy the entire game. So you can do the same thing here. You're like, hey, Gaignun, wherever Ebony goes, guess what?
That sounds really fun, actually.
It'd be different teams each time, so it would be a lot of fun to watch.
It's like, all right, who can deal with Ebony's shield bullshit the longest? you get to play against him every round because nobody else will.
All right. So the format, no one has any more rules. Sounds like it's all clear.
I don't know. Your willingness to trade me makes me wonder if I want to just go over there in the Ska's team.
Hey, no, you don't. This is Team Snow.
Ebony for Gaignun.
I'm about that.
Ebony for PD. Ebony for PD. What do you say?
I don't think that would be good in Murder's point of view. I think his players all have a lot of synergy IMO.
Ebony for PD.
I mean, I already said Ebony was going to be my first pick, so.
Fair.
I'm actually not against either.
Skaboss isn't going to do it. Look at him.
I don't
Typing
know.
all.
Either way,
He's
I don't think
hard
I don't
no
think
right
we should
now.
trade the first picks. I think the first pick should stay.
Fine.
Oh,
Oh,
against Ebony every
Oh.
round. I'm sitting on it right here.
Skavas says that Ebony's a guaranteed win, whoever he's with.
damn. All right. I
Man,
mean,
that's weird. I'm gonna have to look in some history and see how that went because I think I have some data to the contrary.
all right, we're going to have to.
I would be talking trash, but he's on my team, so Ebony's the fucking best. Shut up.
All right, so
Get ready to eat that dick, Gaignun.
eat that dick. Rated G.
For
That
gamer.
being said,
I feel called
I'm just
out.
gonna leave now.
Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I was actually going to make one quick announcement, a teaser. We're actually going to be doing a second podcast this week for something fairly special. Our group, Phantom Dust Revive, managed to land an interview with Phantom Dust creator Yukio Futatsugi, I believe is how you say it.
Yeah, that's right.
And we have the text of his interview, and we're going to be doing a podcast to discuss it Thursday, about the same time as our start time tonight. So tune in Thursday, same stream, roughly same time for the Yukio Futatsugi interview on questions that will include whether or not we can look forward to a sequel and some of his creative choices in making Phantom Dust. So I know I'm looking forward to it, and I hope everyone else is as well. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, tonight, and take care.